And scientists in Iceland are issuing a new warning amid a major volcano eruption. They say toxic gas spewing into the air could reach the capital and surrounding communities.
Iceland is one of the most unique places on Earth. It is a small island country located in the North Atlantic Ocean, between Greenland and Norway, close to the Arctic Circle. Even though it is not very large, Iceland is filled with natural wonders that look almost unreal. The land is young compared to many other places in the world, and it is still changing even today. This is because Iceland sits on a very special place on Earth called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, where two huge pieces of the Earth's crust, known as tectonic plates, are slowly moving apart. Because of this, Iceland has many active volcanoes, earthquakes, and geothermal areas. When you look at Iceland's landscape, you can see powerful waterfalls, steaming geysers, black sand beaches, massive glaciers, and wide lava fields that seem to stretch forever. One of the most famous glaciers is Vatnajökull, which is the largest in Europe and covers a big part of the island. All these features make Iceland look both beautiful and dangerous at the same time. For many years, scientists have been studying Iceland because it gives them a chance to understand how the Earth works deep inside. It is like a natural laboratory where researchers can observe volcanic activity, earthquakes, and the formation of new land. But recently, something unexpected has been discovered in Iceland that has caught the attention of scientists around the world. This discovery is not just about volcanoes or earthquakes, but also about human history and hidden secrets beneath the ground. It has raised many questions and created both excitement and concern. People are now wondering what exactly has been found, how long it has been hidden, and what it could mean for our understanding of the past and the future. Could it reveal something new about how early humans lived in such a harsh environment? Or could it uncover hidden dangers that we were not aware before? Iceland has always been a place full of mystery, but this new discovery has made it even more fascinating. Scientists, historians, and explorers are now working together to study this finding and understand its full impact. As more information comes out, it is becoming clear that this is not just a simple discovery. It could change what we know about Iceland and possibly even teach us something important about our planet. This is why people all over the world are paying close attention to what is happening in this small but powerful island nation. That Iceland's dramatic landscape is a result of millions of years of powerful natural forces working beneath and above the surface of the Earth. The country is known for having some of the most active volcanoes in the world, and these volcanoes play a major role in shaping the land. One of the reasons Iceland is so volcanically active is because it lies directly on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, where the Eurasian and North American tectonic plates are slowly moving away from each other. As these plates separate, magma from deep within the Earth rises up to fill the gap, creating new land in the process. This constant movement leads to frequent volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, making Iceland a place where the Earth is always changing. Over time, these eruptions have created mountains, lava fields, and even entire islands. One of the most famous volcanic events in recent history was the eruption of Age of Geological in 2010. This eruption sent a massive cloud of ash high into the sky, which spread across Europe and caused major disruption to air travel for several weeks. Thousands of flights were canceled, and millions of passengers were affected. This event showed how a single volcanic eruption in Iceland could have global consequences. But volcanoes in Iceland are not only destructive, they are also a source of life and energy. The heat from beneath the Earth's surface is used to produce geothermal energy, which provides electricity and heating for homes and businesses across the country. This makes Iceland one of the most environmentally friendly countries in terms of energy use. In addition to volcanoes, Iceland is also home to many geysers, which are hot springs that shoot boiling water into the air. These natural features attract tourists from all over the world and are a reminder of the powerful forces hidden beneath the ground. Glaciers also cover a large part of Iceland, and they interact with volcanic activity in interesting ways. Sometimes, when a volcano erupts beneath a glacier, it can cause sudden floods known as jökulhlaups, which can be very dangerous. All of these elements, volcanoes, glaciers, geysers, and earthquakes, combine to create a land that is both beautiful and unpredictable. Scientists have spent many years studying these features to better understand how they work and how they might affect people living in Iceland and beyond. However, even with all this knowledge, Iceland still holds many secrets. The recent discovery that has captured global attention is a reminder that there is still much we do not know about this fascinating island. As researchers continue to explore and study Iceland, they are beginning to uncover new clues that could change our understanding of its past, its present, and even its future. For many years, Iceland has been known not only for its powerful natural forces, but also for its rich history, especially the time of the Vikings who first settled on the island over 1,000 years ago. These early settlers arrived around the late 9th century and had to adapt to a land that was both harsh and unpredictable. They built homes, farms, and communities in an environment shaped by volcanoes, cold weather, and limited resources. Because of this, historians and archaeologists have always been interested in learning more about how these people lived, survived, and used the land around them. Recently, an important discovery has brought new attention to this part of Iceland's past. Near a small area known as Adi, researchers uncovered something unexpected beneath the ground. During what began as a normal archaeological excavation, scientists discovered a man-made cave system that had been hidden for centuries. At first, they believed it was just a small underground structure, but as they continued digging, they realized that the cave was much larger and more complex than anyone had imagined. The caves were connected to each other, forming a network of underground spaces that seemed to have been carefully designed and built by human hands. Experts believe that these caves date back to the Viking Age, roughly between 800 and 1060 AD, which means they are over 1,000 years old. This discovery is very important because it provides direct evidence of how people lived during that time. Some researchers think these caves were used as shelters for animals, such as cows and horses, especially during harsh winters. Others believe they may have been used for storage or even as safe places during times of danger. What makes this discovery even more interesting is that it matches descriptions found in old historical texts, including writings from the 13th century that mention similar underground structures. According to one story, a cave like this once collapsed with animals inside, showing how large and important these spaces were. The size and design of the newly discovered cave suggests that the Vikings had more advanced building skills than previously thought. They were able to dig into the earth and create stable underground areas without modern tools or technology. This raises many new questions for scientists. How exactly did they build these caves? How long did it take? And how many more of these hidden structures might still be buried beneath Iceland's surface? This discovery has not only excited historians, but also captured the imagination of people around the world. It offers a rare glimpse into the daily life of early settlers and shows how humans have always found ways to adapt to even the most challenging environments. As researchers continue to study these caves, they hope to learn more about the Viking way of life and uncover more secrets that have been hidden underground for centuries as scientists and researchers continue to study the newly discovered cave system near Adi. They began to realize that this finding was not just important for understanding history, but it also raised several concerns and questions about safety and the environment. One of the main issues is the stability of these ancient underground structures. Since the caves are over 1,000 years old, there is a real risk that parts of them could collapse at any time. The soil and rock that support the caves may have weakened over the centuries due to natural processes like erosion, earthquakes, and changes in temperature. This makes it dangerous for archaeologists and workers who are exploring the site. Even a small collapse could cause serious injuries or destroy valuable historical evidence that cannot be replaced. Because of this, experts are taking great care while studying the caves, using special equipment and techniques to make sure the area remains as safe as possible. Another concern is the possibility that these caves might contain harmful substances or unknown biological elements. Since the caves have been sealed off for hundreds of years, there's a chance that they could hold bacteria, mold, or other microorganisms that could be harmful to humans. While this risk is not yet fully understood, scientists are being cautious and using protective measures when entering the caves. In addition to these concerns, the discovery has also led to discussions about how to preserve the site for future generations. If too many people visit the caves or the area is not properly protected, it could lead to damage or even destruction of these important historical structures. This is why authorities are considering limiting access and developing plans to protect the site while still allowing researchers to study it. At the same time, this discovery has sparked interest in a much larger and more complex scientific idea known as Icelandia. This theory suggests that beneath Iceland and the surrounding ocean, there could be a large area of continental crust that was previously unknown. If this theory is proven true, it could change what scientists know about the Earth's structure in this region. It might also suggest that there are valuable natural resources hidden beneath the surface, such as minerals or energy sources. However, this possibility brings its own set of challenges and concerns. Exploring and extracting these resources could have serious environmental effects, especially in a place as delicate as Iceland. The balance between scientific discovery, economic opportunity, and environmental protection is becoming a major topic of discussion among experts. All of these factors show that the discovery of the caves is not just a simple historical finding. It is connected to larger questions about safety, science, and the future of the environment. As research continues, scientists are working carefully to understand both the benefits and the risks of what has been uncovered beneath the surface of Iceland. As research into the caves and the broader idea of Icelandia continues. Scientists from different fields have started sharing their opinions, and not all of them agree. Archaeologists are mainly excited because the cave system gives them a rare chance to understand how people lived during the Viking Age. They believe these underground structures could reveal important details about daily life, farming methods, and how early settlers survived in a difficult environment. By studying the layout of the caves, the tools used to build them, and any objects found inside, researchers can piece together a clearer picture of the past. However, geologists are more cautious. They are less focused on the human history and more concerned about the physical structure of the land. According to them, digging deeper into these caves or expanding excavations could weaken the surrounding ground, especially in an area that is already affected by seismic activity. Even small earthquakes could trigger cave-ins, which would not only be dangerous but could also destroy valuable evidence. Because of this, many experts are calling for careful and controlled exploration rather than large-scale digging. At the same time, the theory of Icelandia has created a major debate in the scientific community. Some geologists believe that there is strong evidence suggesting that Iceland may sit on a piece of continental crust rather than just oceanic crust. If this is true, it would mean that the land beneath Iceland is much older and more complex than previously thought. This idea challenges long-standing beliefs about how the North Atlantic region was formed, especially after the breakup of the ancient supercontinent known as Pangaea. However, not all scientists are convinced. Critics argue that there is not enough solid proof yet, and they believe more research, including deep-sea drilling and advanced seismic studies, is needed before any conclusions can be made. This disagreement shows how science often works. New discoveries lead to new questions, and sometimes even conflict between experts. Another important concern raised by scientists is the potential environmental impact if the Icelandia theory turns out to be correct. If large amounts of valuable resources are found beneath the region, there may be pressure to explore and extract them. This could lead to increased industrial activity, which might harm the environment, especially marine ecosystems in the North Atlantic Ocean. Environmental scientists are warning that such actions could disturb wildlife, damage habitats, and contribute to pollution. They emphasize the need to think carefully before taking any steps that could have long-term effects on the planet. Overall, the discoveries in Iceland have created a complex situation where history, science, and environmental concerns are all connected. While the caves offer a window into the past, the possibility of Icelandia opens questions about the future. Scientists are now working together, sharing knowledge and ideas to better understand these findings. They know that whatever conclusions they reach could have a lasting impact, not just for Iceland, but for the entire world. As the discoveries in Iceland continue to unfold, scientists are also trying to understand how these findings might affect the environment, not just locally but on a global scale. Iceland is already known as one of the most geologically active places on Earth, and any new discovery in such a region naturally raises questions about environmental balance. The newly discovered caves, for example, may seem like a historical treasure, but they exist within a fragile geological system. Increased human activity around these sites, including excavation, tourism, and research operations, could disturb the natural structure of the land. Even small changes in pressure or movement in the ground could increase the risk of collapses or trigger minor seismic activity. This is why scientists are urging caution and careful planning before expanding any work in the area. Beyond the caves, the theory of Icelandia brings even bigger environmental concerns. If it is confirmed that a large area of continental crust lies beneath Iceland and the surrounding ocean, it could attract interest from industries looking to explore natural resources such as minerals, oil, or gas. While this might seem like an economic opportunity, it also poses serious risks to the environment. The North Atlantic Ocean is home to a wide variety of marine life, including fish, whales, and other species that depend on a stable ecosystem. Large-scale drilling or mining operations could damage these habitats, leading to long-term consequences for biodiversity. Environmental scientists warn that once these ecosystems are disturbed, it can take decades or even centuries for them to recover, if they recover at all. Another important factor is the impact on climate systems. Geological structures beneath the ocean play a role in how heat and energy move around the planet. If Icelandia affects ocean currents or underwater geological activity, it could have indirect effects on weather patterns in different parts of the world. For example, changes in the North Atlantic region could influence temperatures and storms in Europe and North America. Scientists are especially interested in how this might connect to the North Atlantic Oscillation, which is a key factor in determining weather conditions in many countries. In addition to this, volcanic activity in Iceland already has a known impact on the climate. When volcanoes erupt, they release gases and ash into the atmosphere. Some of these gases, like carbon dioxide, contribute to global warming, while others can reflect sunlight and temporarily cool the Earth. Understanding how these processes work is very important for predicting future climate changes. The new discoveries may provide valuable information that helps scientists improve their climate models. By studying Iceland's geology more closely, researchers hope to gain a better understanding of how the Earth's systems are connected. This knowledge could help governments and organizations make better decisions about environmental protection and climate action. Overall, while the discoveries in Iceland are exciting, they also highlight the importance of balancing scientific curiosity with responsibility. Protecting the environment while exploring new knowledge is one of the biggest challenges scientists face today, and Iceland has now become a key place where this challenge is clearly visible. The recent discoveries in Iceland are not just important on their own, but they also connect to a much larger story about how our planet works and how different natural systems are linked together. Scientists often study specific locations like Iceland because they can provide clues about global processes that affect the entire Earth. Iceland is especially valuable in this way because it sits in a place where many powerful forces meet, including tectonic movement, volcanic activity, and changing climate conditions. The idea of Icelandia, if proven true, could completely change how scientists understand the formation of continents and oceans in the North Atlantic region. For many years, it was believed that Iceland was mainly formed from oceanic crust created by volcanic activity along the mid-Atlantic ridge. However, the possibility that there is a large section of continental crust hidden beneath Iceland suggests that the history of this region may be far more complex than previously thought. This could lead to a rethinking of how the supercontinent Pangaea broke apart millions of years ago and how the current continents were formed. Such a discovery would not only affect geology textbooks, but also influence future research in many related fields. Another important aspect of these findings is the way they show how local events can have global effects. For example, volcanic eruptions in Iceland have already shown their ability to disrupt air travel across Europe, as seen during the 2010 eruption of Age of Geological. But beyond travel disruptions, volcanic activity can also affect the climate by releasing gases and particles into the atmosphere. These particles can block sunlight and temporarily cool the Earth, while gases like carbon dioxide can contribute to warming over longer periods. This shows that events in a small country like Iceland can have impacts that are felt around the world. The discovery of underground caves and the possibility of hidden geological structures add another layer to this understanding. They remind scientists that there may still be many unknown features beneath the Earth's surface that could influence natural processes in ways we do not yet fully understand. In addition, these discoveries highlight the importance of continued research and international cooperation. Scientists from different countries and backgrounds are now working together to study Iceland more closely, sharing data and ideas to build a clearer picture of what is happening. This kind of collaboration is essential when dealing with complex global issues, such as climate change and environmental protection. The more we learn about places like Iceland, the better prepared we will be to face future challenges. Whether it is predicting natural disasters, managing resources, or protecting ecosystems, the knowledge gained from these discoveries can have real-world benefits. In this way, Iceland serves as a reminder that our planet is constantly changing and that there is still much to learn. Each new discovery brings us one step closer to understanding the Earth as a whole, but also shows how much remains unknown as the scientific community continues to study these discoveries. Governments and organizations in Iceland and around the world are taking careful steps to respond in a responsible way. The goal is not only to understand what has been found, but also to make sure that any actions taken do not create new risks or problems. One of the most important steps being taken is the continuous monitoring of Iceland's geological activity. This is mainly handled by the Icelandic Meteorological Office, which uses advanced tools such as seismographs, GPS systems, and satellite data to track movements beneath the Earth's surface. These technologies allow scientists to detect even small changes in the ground, which can help predict earthquakes or volcanic eruptions before they happen. Early warning systems are very important in a country like Iceland, where natural events can occur suddenly and have serious effects on both local communities and international travel. In addition to monitoring, Icelandic authorities have developed detailed emergency plans to deal with possible risks. These plans include evacuation procedures, safety training for residents, and coordination with emergency services. The aim is to make sure that people are prepared and know what to do if a dangerous situation arises. Another key part of the response is international cooperation. Scientists in Iceland are working closely with global organizations such as the European Space Agency and the United Nations to share data and research findings. This cooperation helps improve the overall understanding of geological and environmental processes, not just in Iceland but around the world. By combining knowledge and resources, experts can develop better models to predict natural events and understand their impact on the planet. At the same time, there is a strong focus on protecting Iceland's unique environment. The country is known for its natural beauty, which attracts tourists from all over the world. However, increased tourism can also put pressure on delicate ecosystems and historical sites like the newly discovered caves. To address this, authorities are promoting sustainable tourism practices, such as limiting access to sensitive areas, encouraging eco-friendly behavior, and educating visitors about the importance of preservation. This balance between exploration and protection is very important. While the discoveries in Iceland offer exciting opportunities for learning and development, they also come with responsibilities. Scientists, governments, and the public must work together to ensure that these findings are used in a way that benefits everyone without causing harm. In the end, the situation in Iceland shows how modern science and careful planning can help manage even the most complex challenges. By staying informed, working together, and respecting the environment, it is possible to explore new knowledge while also protecting the world for future generations. Beyond the immediate historical and geological importance of Iceland's discoveries, there is a growing realization among scientists that these findings may have profound implications for our understanding of human adaptation and survival in extreme environments. The Viking-era caves, for example, are more than just physical structures. They are evidence of human ingenuity, reflecting how early settlers faced harsh conditions, including freezing winters, volcanic activity, and limited agricultural resources. By carefully studying the cave layouts, storage systems, and any tools or remnants left behind, researchers can gain insight into how these communities organize themselves, distributed labor, and manage food supplies and livestock. Such information helps historians reconstruct daily life, revealing not just survival strategies, but also social and cultural practices that shaped the early Icelandic society. Archaeologists also note that these caves may have served multiple functions simultaneously: storage areas, shelters from extreme weather, or even secret refuges during conflicts. This multifaceted use demonstrates a level of planning and engineering sophistication that challenges the common perception of Viking settlements as simple or crude. In parallel, the geological implications of Icelandia suggest that the area beneath Iceland is far more complex than previously thought, offering opportunities to study processes that govern continental formation, tectonic activity, and volcanic behavior. Understanding whether Iceland sits on a